Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, we will be studying continuation part of CET on the lesson Plant Kingdom. Yes, let us continue the CET concept. The next question is, which of the following is not pteridophytes? So option A, ginkgo. So ginkgo is a kind of gymnospermic plant. It is called as living fossil. So this is not belonging to pteridophytic group. Then option B, Selaginella. So Selaginella is a kind of pteridophytic plant. So it is habited to land. Then option C, Polypodium. So Polypodium is also a kind of pteridophyte, but it is called as epiphytic fern. So what is meant by that epiphytic? Epiphytic is nothing but the plant will grow on the surface of another plant. So Polypodium is a kind of epiphytic fern. Then option D, Azolla. So Azolla is an aquatic fern. So among the four option, the plant that is not belonging to pteridophyte is ginkgo. So the correct one is option A. Yes, the next question is, which of the following is known as the resurrection plant? So what is mean by resurrection plant? So resurrection plants are the group of plants, so they can survive in extremes of desiccation. So when the environment is adverse, that is not suitable for their growth, then also it can survive. So let us look into the option. Option A, Selaginella. So Selaginella is a kind of pteridophyte. So this plant is got abilities to survive in extremes of desiccation. So it is a kind of a resurrection plant. So when the environment is fully dry, its stem will curl and the plant will just appear like a ball. When again it will get the moisture, again it will get open and it will start growing on its habitat. So this kind of survival can be seen in the Selaginella, so that it is called as resurrection plant. Then option B, Welwitschia. So Welwitschia is a kind of gymnosperm. So this is called as a living fossil because it exists on the earth for millions of years, but it is not having resurrection property. Then option C, Rafflesia. So Rafflesia is an insectivorous plant belonging to Angiosperm. This is also not exhibiting resurrection. Then option D, Chlorella. So Chlorella is a unicellular alga. It is rich in protein and this is not a resurrection plant. So the correct one is option A, Selaginella. As the next question is, endosperm in gymnosperm is formed. So what is meant by the endosperm? So endosperm is a nutritive tissue. So this tissue can be seen in seed bearing plants like gymnosperms and angiosperm. What is the function of this one? So endosperm usually nourishes the developing embryo. So if you see the angiospermic plant, the formation of endosperm takes place after the fertilization. So what we have in the embryo sac, that means the polar nuclei, that will develops into endosperm in case of angiosperms. But if you see the gymnospermic plant, the formation of endosperm takes place before fertilization. That means one of the megaspore directly develops into endosperm. So this is a unique type of development can be seen in gymnosperms. Yes, look into the option A, at the time of fertilization. So this is not an answer. Then option B, before fertilization. So this is correct one because endosperm development in the gymnosperm takes place before fertilization. So one of the megaspore directly develops into endosperm. Then option C, after fertilization. So after fertilization, angiosperms usually develop endosperm, not in gymnosperm. And option D, along with the development of embryo. So among the four options, the correct one is option B, before fertilization. The next question, the fruits are not formed in gymnosperms because of. So fruit is a product of fertilization, right? So one of the part in the female reproductive organ will be develops into fruit after fertilization. So which part usually develops into fruits in the angiosperm? That is ovary. So ovary after fertilization results in the formation of fruits. So why the gymnosperms are not showing the formation of fruit? Why it is absent in gymnosperm? So gymnosperm we are usually calling as naked seeded plant because of the absence of fruit formation. So the only reason is ovary is not present in the gymnosperm. So because of this, fruit is absent. Clear, right? Yes, let us look at the option A, absence of pollination. So pollination is just results in the transfer of male gamete towards the female gamete. Clear. So just it is a initial step for the fertilization. Then option B, absence of seed. This is not answer because gymnosperms are seed bearing plants. Then option C, absence of fertilization. This is also not answer because after the fertilization seed formation takes place, but because of the absence of ovary, gymnosperms are not showing the presence of fruit. So the correct one is option D, absence of ovary. Then 29th question is xylem element of gymnosperm lacks. So xylem is a water conducting tissue, complex tissue. So this complex permanent tissue will be made out of xylem elements. So one of the xylem element is vessel and another one is tracheids, then xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. So these four xylem elements can be seen in all the angiosperms. But if you come to the gymnosperms, gymnosperms are primitive compared to angiosperm. So one of the primitive character what we can see in the gymnosperm is lack of vessels. Clear. So vessel is one of the xylem element. So this vessel helps in the conduction of water, especially in the xylem tissue. So if you notice the structure of vessel, they consist of wider opening. So because of this, the transport or translocation of water takes place very fast compared to the tracheids. Clear, right? So vessels are the advanced xylem element. They are found in angiosperm, but they are absent in gymnosperms. So look into the option A, vessels. So the correct answer is vessel because this element is absent in gymnosperm. Then B, tracheids. Tracheids are present in the gymnosperm. Then parenchyma is also present. Sclerenchyma is also present. So the correct one is option A. Yes, 30th question is, in which of the following fertilization is possible without water? So option A, algae. So algae is a primitive group of plant. So here without water fertilization does not occur. You just can't imagine the process of fertilization without water here. Then option B, bryophytes. So bryophytes are known as amphibians of plant kingdom. They also require water for the fusion of male and female gamete. Then option C, pteridophytes. So pteridophytes are grow very well in moist and shady places. So they also require water for fertilization. Then option D, gymnosperms. So gymnosperms are the advanced plants compared to these three kinds of plantlets. So in the gymnosperms, pollination takes place through air. Clear. That means the transfer of pollen grain towards the female reproductive organ takes place through the wind. So there is no role of water in the fertilization of gymnospermic plant. So the correct option is option D. The next question is, cones and flowers are the similar because. So what is the function of cones and where do we find it? So cones are the reproductive organs. They are found in gymnosperms. And flowers are also reproductive organs. They are found in angiosperms. So based on the function of these two structures, we have to select the option. Clear. So option A, both are bright and showy. So this is just one this thing external feature of the cones and flowers, but this is not a complete purpose of the formation of these two structures. Then option B, both are reproductive organs. This is correct because cones and flowers, they are meant for the process of reproduction. So only for pollination they are brighter and showy to attract the insects. The flowers got a different color and they are showy. But the main purpose of the cones and flower is they are meant for reproduction. So they are reproductive organ. So B is the correct option. Then C, do not contain endosperm. So endosperm is a nutritive tissue that can be seen in the embryo sac. So in the seed, endosperm will nourish the developing embryo. Then option D, do not contain starch. So storage of starch is not the function of cones and flowers. That is the function of chloroplast. So the correct answer is option B. Then next question is, which of the following structure in pinus are haploid? So pinus is a gymnospermic plant. So in the pinus, we have to select which of the following structure will be haploid. Haploid is nothing but single set of chromosome will be present. So the option A, megaspore. Megaspore is a haploid spore. Then integument. Integument is a not a haploid structure, it is a diploid because two sets of chromosomes are present in integumental tissue. Then roots are also diploid. So this is not a correct option. Then option B, endosperm. So endosperm in the gymnospermic plant like pinus, haploid in nature. Then megaspore. So megaspore is formed by the meiotic division of megaspore mother cell. So the megaspores are haploid in their nature. Then pollen grains. Pollen grains are also formed by a meiotic division. They are also haploid structure. So all the three this thing they have given in the option B are haploid in nature. So B is the correct one. Then look into the option C, pollen grains. Pollen grains are haploid, but the leaves and roots are not haploid. They are the diploid organs. Then option D, megaspore. So megaspore is haploid. Then endosperm. Endosperm is also haploid, but embryo is not haploid because it is formed as a result of gamete fusion. So the correct one is option B because endosperm, megaspore as well as pollen grains are all haploid structures in gymnosperms like pinus. The next question is, coralite roots of cycas are useful in. So coralite roots can be seen in cycas plants. So cycas plant is a gymnospermic plant. So what is the meaning of coralite? Why we are called a root as a coralloid root? So in the cycas plant, a root is associated with cyanobacteria. So this type of association is called as symbiotic association because two different kinds of living organisms are mutually associated with each other because they are helping each other. Clear? So what is the purpose of this symbiotic association? Why cyanobacteria are associated with the roots of cycas? So they are getting shelter. So instead of that, the microorganisms, they will supply nitrogen to the plant. Clear? So the function of the coralloid root is it helps in nitrogen fixation. Then option B, absorption of water. So absorption of water is the function of normal roots also. Then option C, transpiration. So transpiration is the function of stomata present in the leaf. Then fixation. So the correct one is option A, nitrogen fixation. Then the next question is, the embryo sac in an angiosperm is a. So embryo sac can be seen in the ovule. Clear? So this embryo sac will be formed by one of the megaspore formed by megaspore mother cell. What is the function of embryo sac? Why it will form in the ovule? So embryo sac will helps in the formation of female gamete, that is egg formation takes place within the embryo sac. So because of its function, the embryo sac is also called as female gametophyte. Understood, right? So this is one of the structure can be seen in the ovule of angiosperm. Yes, let us look into the option. Option A, megasporangium. So megasporangium is nothing but what? Ovule. So within the ovule we have embryo sac. So this is not a answer. Then option B, megaspore mother cell. So megaspore mother cell is one of the diploid cells seen in the ovule. So this cell undergo meiotic division and form megaspore. So formation of megaspore is a function of megaspore mother cell. Then option C, megametophyte. So gametophyte is another name of embryo sac, because the embryo sac is formed by megaspore. The gametophyte is called as megametophyte. So this is the correct answer. Then option D, megaspore. So megaspore is one of the haploid cell formed by the meiotic division of megaspore mother cell. Clear, right? So the correct answer is option C, megametophyte, because this is the another name of embryo sac. Then the next question is, which of the following plants is monacious? So what is mean by monacious? So monacious is a plant. Here we can see the presence of both the reproductive organ. That means male and female reproductive organs can be seen in a single plant. That kind of plants are called as monacious plant. Clear. And we have another kind of plant, that is dioecious plant, where male plant is separate and female plant is separate. Male plant will form male reproductive organ and female plant will form female reproductive organs. Clear? Yes, let us look into the option. Option A, pinus. So pinus is a gymnospermic plant. In this one we can see the presence of both the reproductive organ. That means the same plant will show the presence of both the reproductive organ. So it is a kind of monacious plant. Then what about the options B? Option B, cycas. Cycas is a dioecious plant because the male plant is separate, female plant is separate. Then option C, papaya. Papaya is also dioecious, male and female plants are separate. Option D, sphagnum. Sphagnum is also dioecious. So among the four options, the correct one is option A, pinus, because it is a monacious plant.